What's going on, guys? Welcome back to LOI Fan TV. And in this video, we're going to be looking ahead to the game against Switzerland on Tuesday night. Obviously, we'll have a quick look back at the Belgium game that happened on Saturday as well. Obviously, the 0-0 draw. But joined once again by Luke. Luke, how are things, mate? All good?
All good, Ross. How are you?
All good, man. All good, man. Yeah, can't complain. Can't complain. Were you watching the game Saturday?
Yeah, tuned in now. Yeah, I was happy enough. Yeah, Jesus, obviously a clean sheet, happy days. Obviously going up the other end of the pitch, we weren't as kind of bits more bog standard going up top. We had a few chances, didn't take them, but no, all in all, didn't lose, so happy days.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. And something I think and something you said in the previous video was something along the lines of like, if we kind of limit Belgium to not creating, if they look like they're struggling to break us down, I'll be happy kind of thing. And that was kind of the case in the end, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was exactly it. Yeah, no, I was actually really impressed how John O'Shea set us up. Like, kind of obviously, our forward to back prediction went to the wall when the team
Mm.
got named Robbie Brady and left wing back. But no, I was actually really happy with how we played. Like, obviously, we I don't know what you think, but I thought it was a bit of a step away from the way Stephen Kenny kind of sets up Ireland. Like, it was kind of a bit more pragmatic, but then again, it wasn't grim. Like we had good phases in the game and so on. So, like as I said, yeah, I was hoping for us to be defensively solid, and we were. And it was just obviously we were just missing the goal. But sure, look for John O'Shea's first outing, I thought that was a fantastic performance.
No, absolutely. I agree. I agree. And I think there was definitely a kind of visible change from the Kenny era kind of thing. You could kind of see tactically and how we were set up. It felt more secure and it felt more kind of not less tactically naive a little bit than Kenny was at times, I guess. Um, but yeah, I think overall, obviously, as far as families go, you don't really care about the result too much. I think it was there for the taking in terms of actually winning the game. I didn't think Belgium were great now, to be honest. That looked like a poor enough side. Um, you're kind of looking across the team. Tielemans isn't. I'm not sure he's getting in at
Mm.
Villa at the moment. You kind of Doku
Yeah,
wasn't starting. At the
Onana
back you
coming
went
on. Yeah.
Wood Phase and a centre half. He's in the championship now. Like this didn't blow me away. You're kind of looking at their team. Like so, I think they obviously missed a penalty as well, Evan Ferguson, which is disappointing. But I think there was definitely opportunity to take a win from that. But I think the performance overall was quite solid all over the park. And yeah, in terms of international friendlies, as far as they go, I think it was a good one out.
Yeah, I was really surprised that Robbie Brady didn't take the penalty.
Yeah,
I was just thinking back to Euro 2016, like when he took it against France, and kind of he has been kind of on the spot for us in those situations. I was really like almost when the penalty was taken, I was like, oh, here we go, Robbie Brady, I'll put this away. And then I saw Evan Ferguson, and obviously with the drought that he's been on, I know I get why you put him on it. You're like, right, we'll get him up and running, and we'll see, we'll
yeah,
get the easy goal. But then again, if he misses it, it's like, oh, like
I know.
it makes him out and even twice the size. So.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is what it is. I suppose that's one negative, the fact that his confidence hasn't been built off the back of that game. But sure, look,
yeah,
there were
yeah.
many other prospects.
As I said, he needs a goal, and like that penalty kind of screamed the player that's low on confidence is a bad penalty as well. Like it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
nice fight for the keeper, wasn't really tucked into the corner. I think it just looked like he's short on confidence at the moment, and it'd be great if he can nick a goal on Tuesday night just to go back to his club with or something, just to give him that bit of a boost for the end of the season. We'll move on to the Switzerland game. Obviously, on Tuesday night, we'll have a little look at that. I was looking at kind of the form coming into the game. So Switzerland only have one win in their last six games. It's actually the same as Ireland, but they have qualified for Euro 2024. And we were having a quick chat beforehand about this, and I was just saying to you, in comparison to the kind of the group that we had for qualification, obviously we had, was it France? Was it France? Who was it? France, Portugal? Or, I'm going mad now. It's
uh,
Greece, Netherlands,
France,
Netherlands,
France, Greece, Netherlands, and
France. Yeah,
yeah, with
and
Gibraltar,
was
with Gibraltar your team,
Gibraltar,
yeah,
Gibraltar, I think. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So France, Greece, Netherlands, like three solid teams, like two probably world class teams and a solid team. And then I'm looking at the Switzerland group for qualifying, and they came second in this group, by the way, came second to Romania. In third was Israel, in fourth was Belarus, and in fifth was Kosovo. Like, you just wonder how these draws are made sometimes, don't you?
We've never got a draw like that.
No, no, absolute joke. Like,
We get Georgia every time, and then like you always see the second seed. There's a top team in the second seed. We're going to get them. Like obviously
yeah,
Netherlands. Like, so it's just like hopefully now in the next campaign we'll get a group like that. Like 'cause we
and
need
I
it.
was just looking at the kind of Switzerland 11. They actually played a friendly against Denmark on Saturday as well. They actually had a 0-0 draw there themselves too. And I was kind of looking through the team. Obviously, they have a lot of kind of recognizable names at the back. They have Manuel Akanji, Fabian Schär. I think it's Rodriguez as well. I think he plays in the Bundesliga.
Hmm.
Obviously in midfield, they've kind of Xhaka. They have Dennis Zakaria. I think he was on at Chelsea
He
last
was,
year, I
yeah,
think, wasn't he?
last
Yeah.
year, yeah.
And I was keeping an eye out for Briel and Bolo up top, and I didn't see him, and I was looked him up, and he actually did his ACL at the start of the season, and he's actually going to be out for. I'm not sure if he missed the Euros, might be back in time for that, but it'll probably be a race against time for him. But he won't be available for Tuesday night. But obviously they kind of have a solid spine there, players. They'll be a tough outfit. It'd be interesting to see maybe if they rotate the team a little bit, possibly from Saturday. But yeah, in terms of kind of how they compare to us, do you think there's a huge difference in terms of quality, or
From Belgium or from like from
sorry,
us?
from Ireland to Switzerland? Is there?
Yeah, yeah. Well, you look at our team as Champions League players galore. Like, there's a visible kind of step up in level there. And like, arguably, if Switzerland played our team that they played in the weekend against us, is way better than what Belgium fielded against us. So
Yeah,
it is going to be tough. And if John O'Shea decides to rotate, like you do in friendlies, we're going to be up against it big time. So I just wonder what his move is going to be because he got asked after the game, would he take the job? And he says, "Ask me again on Tuesday." So that was kind of
interesting.
hinting at the fact that like he wants to kind of get Tuesday out of the way before he speaks on. So probably is up for grabs. So if I was John
I,
O'Shea, I don't think I would
yeah,
be. I don't think I would be putting out a second team. I think I'd be like, right, we'll make one or two changes or whatever, and we'll see. We'll give Switzerland a right go. So, yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be tougher than Saturday. I just hope that we can kind of put a similar performance in and maybe get a goal or
yeah.
two.
Yeah, I think the job could be there for the taking from, to be honest, and because
Mm,
we were kind of looking in our previous video about at the list of names, and you kind of be looking at that and thinking John O'Shea's probably doing the ones where you go, okay, fair enough, we can kind of get on board with that, and a lot of the other ones are kind of like, yeah, I don't know, like, but the
yeah.
FEI have kind of made implied that they had someone kind of done, so it's kind
Mm,
of like they're definitely lying. Then if it ends up being O'Shea, they're definitely lying about
mm,
that. So it's a really tricky situation that the FEI put themselves in, to be honest. But
yeah.
you're kind of touching on the squad rotation. We'll have a look at kind of a predicted starting 11 for Ireland against against Switzerland. Obviously, we got it quite wrong. We got a few elements of the team right against Belgium, to be fair,
Yeah,
but formation wise, we didn't know what to expect. We're probably gonna see. I imagine he'll stick with the same formation
I
as
think
Saturday.
so. I'd say so. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, Like, yeah, it's just a weird one, I suppose. Kind of there was just it couldn't really predict someone like Robbie Brady starting.
No,
Obviously
did
Sammy
well though.
Smolik. Yeah, he did do
Yeah,
solid. Yeah, I was really impressed how he got on. And like Sammy Smolik looked really good, I thought. Someone like Mikey Johnson against the team, we talked about that before. We were like, it'd be actually kind of harsh to drop him, which he did. But to be fair, Sammy Smolik fully backed it up. So, yeah, I kind of wonder what sort of changes he'll make.
yeah, yeah, and I think maybe some of because I know some of these games are kind of obviously friendlies, and teams are kind of coming into the end of their season. A lot of important points to play for. Kind of example, Seamus Coleman maybe at Everton in a relegation battle. Maybe they've instructed that he only plays one of the two games or something like that
Mm,
to keep him fit. So there could be a little bit of that going on in the background as well. And so it'll be interesting to see kind of like how many changes he does make. I think there is room for like a few changes in terms of
yeah,
like swapping out personnel and not being a huge drop off in quality.
yeah.
So I think there is room for it. Well, we'll have a little run through it anyway. In
Look,
goal, we kind of said before. I wonder if you'll stick by this now. Obviously, he kept a clean sheet on Saturday, but we kind of said before that we think Bazunu will get a game. Do you think that's still the case?
I think so. Yeah, I think it'd be
Yeah,
very harsh if kind of Bazuna got no game time over this international break. Now I know Keller's been phenomenal for Liverpool and he did well on Saturday, but like it's not that big of a drop off, and it kind of makes sense. It'd be more of a talking point if he didn't start Bazuna. So I reckon Bazuna would be in from the game.
right wing back. Obviously, you kind of mentioned Seamus Coleman there. Had a
Mm.
really solid game on
Mm.
Saturday. Obviously, Matt Doherty came off the bench, and so did Festi Ebosele. Now, Festi looked a bit rusty to me when he came off the bench. Now, to be
Yeah,
honest,
was he playing centre mid?
I think he's playing right wing, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
he
was a
came
little.
on
Yeah,
for like
he came on for
yeah,
someone. Yeah, he came on for a midfielder, didn't he? It was
yeah,
just, that was a weird sub, to be honest. I think it kind of proved that he's definitely a defender rather than like a winger or a forward. Like I think it definitely proved that.
yeah.
Um,
I
I
actually
would like
think
to see Festi
yeah.
play though.
Thinking about the back five now, like we're obviously you were saying, but Coleman playing two games in 3 days. I can't see that. Kind of looking
No,
at Robbie Brady as well. I can't see him playing again
no,
to
no.
start. I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of went like how it finished, kind of with Ebusele on the right and Doherty on the left,
Could
like
be.
that. Not the big pot, and that's not that big of a drop off, to be honest.
No, no, I
No,
don't think
so
so. No, Festi's the kind of one that's a bit out there, but he has 26 appearances in Serie A this season. Like he's yeah, I think he's more than
warranted.
capable. Yeah,
Yeah, no, no, no.
100%.
The start would be warranted. It's not like he's not playing football, and he
No,
is. So
at a
I know
good
he looks
level.
different.
Like
Yeah, exactly. So to be honest, I'll be for that. I think kind of John O'Shea will rotate those wing back positions. There's a lot of running in them, a lot of legs in
yeah.
them. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Matt Doherty and Ebersoli on the wings.
The three centre backs, then it's gonna be a tricky one to call. Obviously, the three on Saturday were O'Shea, Amavamidele, and Collins, if I'm not mistaken.
Mount in the middle, yeah.
Um, I could definitely see O'Brien coming in for a start here, I think.
For sure. I'm not sure for who. If I'm thinking
Yeah,
about it now, and O'Shea kind of wants to keep it solid, I don't think he'll take Collins out because obviously that's the centre of the tree. He's kind of the
yeah.
heartbeat of that tree. It's a coin toss down between Amabadile and O'Shea. So I'll leave the call up to you. Who do you think?
Scales is gone, isn't he? Scales is out, I think,
Gale's
with
out
injury.
injured. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
It's literally you could pick anyone, any
The coin
combination of
toss.
the four here. Really, I do think he'll bring O'Brien in for the start, and I think he'll keep the other two. I think he was playing on the right. Was it Amama?
Yeah, yeah.
I
And
think
O'Shea.
he'll
Yeah.
slot in O'Brien in it on the right because I think O'Shea's probably more confident on the left. Darrow O'Shea.
Yeah, yeah,
So
and Darishay's been playing regular football all season. Got on the EA has played a lot of football recently, and I wouldn't be surprised. It was kind of like right, like he's played a lot, like in
yeah.
comparison to the way he was playing the first half. So it kind of makes more sense to take him out. So yeah, I'd agree with
Then in midfield, it's kind of a two central midfielders. This is one where it's kind of like obviously the two lads, Cullen and Smallbone, put in a lot of work on Saturday. I think Cullen actually got man of the match in the end. He put
you.
in a good shift. So you'd imagine if he's fit and round to go, Cullen will get in there again. And I think they
Yeah,
could rotate his partner maybe.
yeah. Who else is there in the squad? Joe Hodge is in there as well, isn't he?
Joe Hodge is after coming in, and we've obviously got Jason Knight, who's obviously more probably of a kind of a forward
Winger.
option,
Yeah,
probably. Jamie McGrath, I think he's more of a
more
10
of
as
a
well.
10. Yeah,
O'Dowda, he's probably actually more of an option for left wing back, nearly O'Dowda.
yeah,
Um,
definitely. Yeah.
Mark Sykes at Bristol, I don't really see
Start.
that.
He's been starting on the right for Bristol. Yeah.
Yeah, Finn Azaz, I think he's a little bit more of a 10, if I'm not mistaken, as well.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's a weak area for us, to be honest, in the
Yeah.
center of the park.
Oh, I was thinking like obviously Cullen got man of the match and Smallbone I was impressed with like his delivery were
Mm,
very good I thought from corners and so on.
yeah,
If O'Shea is making a claim for the job and they are fresh, I wouldn't be surprised if we started again because like anything kind of other than those obviously you can put Hodge in but like it's kind of a bit makeshift like
yeah,
and we're a
yeah.
bit light in numbers. So what do you think?
The only person I could see him maybe trying out as like kind of an eight is Jason Knight, to be honest, because I think he's
Mm.
capable of dropping into that deeper
Oh,
position,
he is,
and
yeah.
he has that energy and that tank to get around the
Mm.
park. And you have to kind of think about up against Granit Xhaka. You don't want to be playing kind of inexperienced lads. They're kind of like you kind of want to. It's going to be a battle in there up against him and the likes and Zakari and stuff. So
And
it's
I
going to be
wonder
interesting.
I wonder if there's any flexibility there for him to kind of switch to like a 5-3-2 or like
Yeah, I
obviously
wouldn't be
he was kind of
surprised, to be honest.
yeah, because he was talking about after the game kind of how like he kind of prepared that formation for Belgium. So it
Mm.
sounds like he's gonna Switzerland obviously play a five at the back as well. So I
They play
wonder
5-3-2. I think going off live
yeah.
score
So
anyway. Yeah.
would he? I wonder if would he match up or I
Mm.
wonder what his thinking would be. It's interesting.
Definitely possible. Yeah, yeah, it's a good point. It's definitely possible. It's just because it's like if you're trying to get all your best players on the pitch, it's probably not the case of getting the midfield three now because we are kind of
Mm,
struggling in that
mm.
department. I'd probably we go Cullen and Smallman, probably a safe
Yeah.
bet, I
I said
think.
I
Yeah,
said it's safe. Like yeah, yeah. I'd
yeah.
probably agree with you.
And then three up front. Now, this is kind of tricky in terms of that rotation factor because there's a lot going on here. But I think the one position that's probably nailed is Chio on the right
Yeah,
in
well,
terms of the front
obviously, yeah,
three.
yeah, because the Knight did come on the right, and he like that
Mm,
isn't really his position. Like he's kind of more of a 10 slash playing off the
yeah.
left. Yeah, like I'm
Again, it's a
thinking,
case of if he's going for the job or if he's rotating the team, isn't it? It's
hmm,
such a hard one to know. Like,
like I kind of look at the front three, and I think Mikey Johnson's nailed on because he didn't start, and obviously he's been in such great form. So I'm kind of like that's kind of only one I'm really sure of in the front three. I think that he's going to come in for Smodics,
yeah,
but
yeah, that was a good
yeah,
point.
it does make sense about Gio because like no one else really kind of has nailed down that right wing spot, and he gives us a lot of energy and he gets us the pitch. So I'd be actually
Yeah,
happy to start Gio. So yeah, I'll probably say Gio on the right. Yeah,
yeah. I think Chio has to play. He's so good.
yeah,
Uh, he's
yeah.
just always such a threat, and he's so dynamic, and we haven't really
Gives us
got anyone else like him, to be honest.
gives us so much energy. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Mikey Johnson on the left. I think you're probably right with that. I think Shami
yeah,
Shmodex did well.
yeah,
I think I think he'll feature. I think he'll get maybe 30 minutes or so. Shmodex off
yeah.
the bench, but
100%.
I think Johnson will come in on that left hand side. Again, it could be one where Shmodex moves into the center in a tree, as you said, behind two strikers or something. It could be something funny like that. Like you just don't know. Like,
I wonder. Oh, it's a wild
Yeah.
card for sure because we only obviously seen one game of O'Shea, and like this is the
Yeah.
system. This is all we have to go off.
Oh yeah, exactly. So I think we
So,
have to just try and match that.
yeah, yeah,
So we go Johnson on the left, Benny on the right, and then up front, I think as we were kind of saying in the last video, kind of had a bit of a striker predicament as we were discussing. I think you go for Adam Ida.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like,
I
do you
would, like
drop Ferguson though? Like, is that worse for his confidence then again?
he to be fair, he's had his injury problems this season. Like kind of like sitting, not I wouldn't describe like putting the same ilk as Seamus Combs because obviously Seamus Combs like 15 years older and like
Yeah,
way more
yeah,
experience on. But like yeah, like Adam Maida like kind of deserves to start. Like it'd be very harsh. It'd kind of like bazooning. Like it'd be very harsh if he
yeah,
didn't in both games. So I'd probably go Maida. Bring
yeah,
Ferguson.
yeah. I think it's one of those things you say to Ferguson as well. It's like this was planned like before
Mm.
the break, like it's nothing to do with your performance last game. It wasn't like terrible in the last game or anything, but
Mm.
obviously the penalty miss will just be like he'll probably be playing on his mind and stuff a little bit, and
Mm.
he needs to get a goal. He'll definitely come off the bench, you'd imagine, at some stage.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I think Adam Ida to lead the line.
100%. No, I'll be happy now if he picked that team. It's kind of, as we said before, like he's made a few changes, but it's also kind of with him making a stake for the job, and it will
Yeah,
give Switzerland a good game. So yeah, no, I think that'd be a solid team if he picked it.
yeah. Professionals up touch. So we went with Bazunu and goal. Keep me right here if I'm getting any of these wrong. We went with Festi at right wing back, Doherty at left wing back. Then we went to Jacob Ryan on the right of the back three, Collins and O'Shea. Then we went with Josh Cullen and Smallbone unchanged midfield, and then we went with Ogbene on the right, Mikey Johnson on the left, and Adam Ida up front.
Yeah,
Not a
happy
bad
with that.
team. Not a bad team at all. In fairness,
Solid, yeah, yeah.
happy with that.
I was only saying it's like it feels like we've a lot more options now than we did 2 years ago. Like, kind of even watching the lads come off the bench, like we had Ida and Johnson, and no, you were
Yeah,
all doing really well for their clubs. Like, whereas
yeah.
before, we were just kind of throwing young fellas on, like Parrott in the Spurs academy, and obviously Ida wasn't getting any minutes for Norwich. Like, we're in a much stronger position now where we can make changes. Actually, isn't that much of a dip, which is fantastic, you know.
Yeah, yeah, even Jason like off the bench and players like that. Like it feels like it's that proper quality. Even Festi, I know he didn't have a
Mm,
great impact on the game when he came on, but just having those lads is it's so
mm.
great to have that option off the bench. It's not of the years gone by of bringing on a Connor Salmon or something in
Jeez.
it.
Exactly. Do you
uh,
think John Clay gets the job if we get a result here?
it just depends if the FEI have a plan in place for if like it's so hard to know with them. Like they're just so flimsy and like you just don't know what's gonna happen. I personally would be happy enough for them to get it, but uh yeah, I don't know. I think they'll probably go with somebody else, to be honest. I think they probably have someone else lined up.
Yeah, I wonder because obviously their term, like when they were talking about it, like right, we can't for contractual reasons we can't talk about him until he's out of contract. So that kind of
Mm.
suggests to me that nothing's been signed. But
Yeah,
you,
maybe.
you just don't know. And then the way O'Shea answered that question, kind of, he was almost like he kind of
He has a
like,
feeling he could get a shout, have it
yeah,
being with a shout. Like,
yeah, it'd be fantastic. I'd love them to see him get it, to be honest, because like
yeah,
as you said, like we just look solid. Like when I watch Stephen Kenny's teams, I feel like there's always like even though we play well for 80 minutes, I always feel like we'd have a 30-second blip where we
yeah,
concede. We're watching us against Belgium. I didn't think that was happening. We were just very
no,
solid, very kind of well drilled. And yeah, I think O'Shea's won it all as a player as well, which kind of that commands a bit more respect with the players. Because obviously
yeah,
Stephen Kenny came from the League of Ireland, so
yeah.
yeah, I'd love to see him get it, but we'll see, I suppose.
Even the experience of sitting in dressing room with Alex Ferguson for what was nearly a decade, nearly I think wasn't he?
Yeah.
So
He's
he
won
had
it
sat in
all.
all that.
Champions
One,
League, Premier
yeah,
League. Yeah, he's won it all.
yeah. It's like it's actually it kind of points in the direction of the Duff conversation as well, potentially in terms of his name being in the mix down the line as well. Um,
Mm.
I think their playing career definitely is a factor in terms of it probably should be the case, but maybe it is in terms of with players with the respect it kind of commands off people and stuff. But yeah, I think yeah, O'Shea definitely has a in with a shout if he can get a result here. I think the plan could have been to put O'Shea on Carsley's coaching staff or something if that had it came about, or it could still be the case
Mm.
with if it with a new manager or something. But I guess it remains to be seen. Score prediction for you in this one?
I'm going to say I'm going. I just feel like Switzerland are going to play a good team and they're going to have too much for us. I'm going to say 2-1 Switzerland. I think we'll get a
2-1
goal.
Switzerland.
I hope I'm wrong, but I just have a feeling 2-1 Switzerland. What do you think?
I think that yeah, I think Switzerland are a good side. And like that back three, the back five is very solid. Like Kanji and Schär and the likes and Rodriguez and stuff. They're very experienced Champions League players. Like so, it's gonna be tough to break them down. And obviously Granit Xhaka pulling the strings. You could be right in terms of that. I think I'm gonna go for another draw. I think I'll go for a 1-1. I think decent result. Did we play them recently? I think we drew them recently. 1-1 at home. Was it Didsey laid on a header? I feel like I remember that. I
Yeah,
think that
yeah.
was
I think
Switzerland.
Cher scored from long range as well.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah,
Shares that was a
yeah.
cracker actually,
That was
and
a
then
great goal.
Didsey with a late equaliser. That was actually a class game. Great crack in the
Yeah,
stand
and
after
then out there wasn't a Shane Duffy. Well, am I getting mixed up now? I just every time I think about Ireland getting a result away from home, Shane Duffy scores. So I
yeah.
wasn't sure if that was the game, but yeah,
I was getting the kind of Switzerland Denmark games mixed up a little bit as well because I think we played them both in the same kind of years for a good few
yeah,
times as well. Like,
yeah,
but yeah,
exactly.
I'm gonna go for a 1-1. Stay positive.
Well, yeah, geez, and if we get that, I think we like O'Shea will be delighted with kind of how it's
Yeah,
panned out. So that like
yeah,
playing two kind of really well established, kind
tough
of regular
tests. Yeah.
qualifiers, and getting two solid results will be like a credit to him. So hopefully,
Absolutely. Yeah, guys, get your predictions down in the comments below. Is much appreciated. If you can drop a like on the video as well. And if you are new around here, make sure to subscribe. It is much appreciated. Plenty more LOI content coming up, heading in. I think it's back on Friday, isn't it? It should be back on Friday, I
back on
believe.
Friday.
Yeah, yeah. So we might have a little prediction video coming ahead of the big one on Friday. So yeah, make sure to stay tuned, and we'll catch you in a bit.